This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Lechtech Musar podcast. We continue with Pirkei Avos, Parak Aleph, Mishnah Hey. Yosi ben Yochanan Ish Yerushalayim Omer. Yosi ben Yochanan from Yerushalayim, he used to say, Yeh Beizcha Pasuach L'Revacha. Let your house be open L'Revacha, let it be open, let everyone come in, L'Zayinum, L'Farnas, something to give them food and sustenance and drink, give them everything they need. Be like Avram Avinu, that his tent was open, Abba Ruchais, and everyone was welcome, everyone felt comfortable. V'yu aniyim b'nei veischa, and let aniyim, poor people, as hard and maybe uncomfortable as it may be, as it may seem, they should be b'nei veischa, the people of your house. So what does this mean? What exactly does this mean? Does it mean that we should host poor people and go on the street and ask all the aniyim, come into my house? So maybe, perhaps. But the Rambam has a different, perhaps a little more of a practical pshat. The Rambam says as follows. It's a little more shavel l'chol nefesh. A lot of times we have a regular house. We don't have enough room to accommodate everybody and their needs. So how can we fulfill this dictum without compromising at all and getting our own personal preferences and feelings involved? So the Rambam tells us, what does that mean? While the simple pshat can be interpreted that it means, go to the street and have a Reb Shaila's kitchen in your house, have an entire uman in your house and bring them all in and make extensions. It's not always so practical. Usually it's not. Some people, ashreichem, they can do it. But for the average person living in an average house, sometimes an apartment, it's not so feasible. So what's the eitzah? Let the aniyim, the poor and indigent people, be your workers. Hire them, give them jobs, and that's how we can fulfill aniyim b'nei veischa. Let the aniyim, the poor people, be members of your household. That means they're counting on you. That means they need you, not necessarily to sleep and to bathe and to eat, because that's very hard and very difficult and not so practical. But look out. See if there's possibility, if it works within your framework of parnasa, whatever it is, that you should hire them, you should have them do jobs. And that also is a tremendous way of being mekayim matana b'seiser, giving them discreetly instead of just giving them handouts. When you actually use them as a service, that is the preeminent, the most desirable way that we can give matanis to aniyim, to help them, to take care of Hashem's children. The Rambam writes that when the poor are included in a person's household, not only is he just getting a mitzvah of matanis aniyim, but says the Rambam, there's a special siyata d'shmaya, he constantly accrues merits, chusim, and mitzvahs for treating them properly. So this is a tremendous opportunity, a mitzvah. And again, while we can't host them in our house and build extensions and have a whole dormitory of aniyim, which some people can, but when it's not practical, at least we should try, go out of our way a little bit, whatever we can, speak to your rabbi how you can do that. But that is the goal, that is what the Tan over here is telling us to do. Tarbe sicha ma'isha. So this is a very well-known Mishnah. It's a little murky waters, and we're just going to kind of gloss over it. You should speak to your Rav about this as well. Get the exact perspective. Tarbe sicha ma'isha. Do not overdo it with speaking to a woman. Be'ishtay amru, when this was said with your wife. Okay, so kavachem be'ishes chaver, and certainly not with your friend's wife. You shouldn't speak with her too much. Mikan amru chachamim. From here, the Chachamim extrapolate that if a man is talking too much with a isha, that a person who engages in too much talk, frivolous talk with a woman, he's going to cause harm to himself, he's going to be mevatel from divrei Torah, and soifa yirish gehenim, he's eventually going to inherit chas v'shalom gehenim. And again, how this works with Shalom Bayis, this is definitely not my domain, but this is what the Mishnah is telling us. Moving on to Mishnah Vav. A lot of Yisaides over here in Mishnah Vav. Yeshua ben Prachia v'nitay arbei kiblu mehem. They were the next on the totem pole. Yeshua ben Prachia oimer asei l'charav. Yeshua ben Prachia says, make for yourself a rav, which means to learn Torah and to learn with and to have like a charusa and to be mekabel the Torah from him. And the Rishonim point out, the Rambam and the Rebbeinu Yonah, they say that even if he's not roy to be a Rav, even if he's, let's say, the same level as you or lower than you, still make a great effort to have someone that you can at least talk to in Torah, that you can converse with, because ultimately from there you're going to become smarter. There's a Gemara in Kedushin that says, Tav l'milimetav tandu milimetav armalu, it's better to have two is better than one. And we also have the pasuk in Koheles, Toivim eshnayim min ha'echad, two is better than one. So the point over here is that a person should make every effort, kanei lecha asei lecha rav, to make for yourself a rav, a rebbe, in order you should learn from him, and be mekabel the Torah in the most proper way. Moving on, ukinei lecha chaver, acquire for yourself a chaver, a friend. So the simple interpretation over here, if you read the words, you touch them literally, ukinei lecha chaver means you should acquire for yourself a friend. The question is, why is asei lecha chaver not good enough? Why is that not satisfactory? And to compound this kasha, Rav Yeshua ben Pirkei, when it came to a rav, it said asei lecha rav. It said just make for yourself a rav. And we come to here to a friend, it says kanei lecha chaver, acquire for yourself a friend. So what's this big Indian over here in acquiring for yourself? It sounds like a transaction that you have to go buy them, take your Amex and swipe it and buy yourself a friend. What's going on over here? So the hesber, the interpretation, can be explained based on the Rambam. The Rambam says, "Asei lecha rav, afilu lo hayu roy lecha rav." I'm sorry, that's going on Rav. Knei lecha chaver. V'kavana sheroy la'adam lekachas la'atzmei chaver dafka. Yeah, the intention of this wording is to express that it is proper for a person to specifically purchase a friend for himself, meaning he should pursue the friendship like a commercial endeavor, surmounting any obstacles that may rise. Why? In order that a person can properly perfect, with the help of his friend, everything that's possible. So what's as Gemara in Bava Basra says, either companionship or death. So what type of friend is this talking about? That we have to pay for him and it's a commercial endeavor. So the Rambam has a whole arichus over here, but the Rambam over here breaks up friends into three categories, and one type of friend is for a specific purpose. One have a partner, a business partner. Another one is for personal benefit. And the third one, which the Rambam is discussing, and Yeshua ben Pirkei, our mission is discussing, is for a lofty matter. So when we say that you should have a friend as a transactional endeavor, that you should swipe your Amex for him, what's that talking about? Now obviously it's not literal, but it means the assoy. It means having a really good, wholesome friend, a friendship that's going to bring forth and going to result in kvod shemayim and helping both of them reach the Eibishter and Torah and mitzvahs. So that's the friend we're talking about over here. And this is the type of friend that Yeshua ben Pirkei commanded us to purchase. And just like every person needs a Rav, needs a Rebbe, Rosh Yeshiva, so too every person needs that type of friend that's going to specifically be a relationship of working on lofty endeavors, on a relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And such a friend is the one that we have to realize while we're not taking out a credit card and swiping for him literally, but in the metaphoric sense, we have to realize that there's such a chashivas in having a friend that's going to help us in our ruchnius pursuits, whether it's a chavrusa, a good neighbor, anyone that can help us, that can prod us along the right way, that we can do that to each other. That is the emphasis over here, and that is what it means, kanei lecha chaver. I once heard from my Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbi Aaron David Wolner, he once said a beautiful pshat as well, which is not the Pashup pshat, but it's cute, it's a remez. Kanei in Aramaic, in the Gemara, means a pen. A kaneh means a feather, a pen. And my Rebbe once said that kaneh lecha chaver, a pen should be your friend. Why? Firstly, because we can write chidushei Torah, we can keep track of our thoughts, we can write everything down, document them, record them. And another reason, I don't know if he said this specifically at the time, but I'm thinking, and I think it's pasha, kaneh lecha chaver. When we write things down, when our words are always thinking and thanking Hashem, and we're always constantly thinking of the hatava and the kindness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we're documenting them, always looking back and reflecting, it makes an everlasting reishim, an everlasting impression on us, not just going forward, and not just how to look back as a spreadsheet, but all that writing, all that putting down on paper, and putting in the time to put things into paper, it has a tremendous impact on us. It makes us more mindful, it makes us more intentional, and of course it helps the future where we can look back and say, wow, we went through this and we went through that, and now look at this on the brighter side, and we can look at Hashgacha Pratis and see things in a different light, and we see the light at the end of the tunnel, we can reflect back. Kaneh lecha chaver, make a pen your friend. Why? For Chidushay Torah, but more so, or perhaps just as important, is to always be mindful, always taking track, keeping stock of all the good that happens in our lives. And when things don't seem to be good, we can look back later and see what we wrote and see how things compare and contrast. And when we're able to do that, Kaneh lecha chaver, take a pen as your friend, we will be able to live our lives at all times, thanking God, praising God, and always recognizing His ceaseless, endless goodness, His kindness, His mercy, and always be thankful.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.